What's going on, everybody? This is the Logic Vault. I was actually asked to do like a build guide on well, they specifically asked for an end game cold build guide. The only problem is I haven't even finished the game, but that hasn't ever stopped me. So I'm gonna go into the passive skills of how to do a freezing cold sorceress. Okay, so when you're like looking into your skills, I talked about it in the last video. Freezing Shards, Ice Nova, Frost Bomb, Cold Snap, Arctic Armor. See, but that's not what we're looking for. We are looking for those passive skills. So, let's go into the passive skill tree. So, for the Sorceress that I have, this is the route that I have chosen for the time being. This is from level 1 up to level, I believe I am 19 or 20. So from 1 to 19, we'll roll. Well, no, we'll go from 1 to 20. So that we'll make that a base. 1 to level 20. Okay. So from 1 to level 20, naturally, you have your energy shield and your spell damage. Of course, I like damage and output. I like to be able to run through things pretty quickly. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes I actually like to have a bit of a challenge. And I did increase spell damage. Okay, I went up, increase spell damage, increase spell damage. See, these are 8%. This is 10% mana regeneration. I wanted mana regeneration because I wasn't recovering fast enough for the spells that I was using. And I knew that this was about to be 20% increased, so I didn't really care for these. Yes, you can get these. They're useful. It will increase your damage output 100%. It's only going to be 8%, but you know what I'm saying. It will fully increase your skill set. Now, where I went from here was I did not go here first. Okay, I went up. I went straight up. You go straight up. If you're building a cold build where you're using the cold snap and you want insta kills like on the dime, you want to take chunks out of the boss's health, this is what you're going to need to do. You will go 20% increased spell damage, 10 to the intelligence, elemental damage. You are going to want elemental damage regardless of whether you use fire, lightning, cold, and I don't think there's anything else. I think those are the main three. Yeah, fire, cold, and lightning. So anyways, you want to do elemental damage. And you're going to immediately go back up. Look at that. Cold damage right there. Cold damage and 30% freeze buildup. That's what you're looking for. It's the freeze buildup. The cold damage is great, for sure. But the freeze buildup is what you want because then you can use your cold snap, kill them off instantly. I also did some lightning damage because, well, I use lightning sometimes on bosses, and so it's useful a little bit. And then another, if you go up again, you can do another 8% increased elemental damage. Now, I'm going to go down. I'm going to show you where I went from there. Cast speed. You're going to want a faster cast speed because for some reason, even though you're freezing the enemies and they're also getting cold and frozen and killed, for some reason, in my eyes, at least when I'm playing, it feels like I'm so slow. It feels like it's so slow. So I'll also get increased cast speed, 3%, 6%, 3%, and then give yourself a little bit of shields if you want. That's up to you. And then we're going to go up from here. And this is where things get more interesting for the cold build. This is again how I went about building my cold sorceress, because it makes your sorceress, in perfect sense of the word, basically like an insta kill. Your character is literally is literally just like is freezing death. So give me a second. I'm gonna take a drink of my coffee. Good stuff. Okay. So now back to... Oh, nice job, genius. Okay. So back to it. And so you want critical hit. Why do you want critical hit? Is because that is what Cold Snap is. It's a critical hit. Cold Snap is a critical hit spell. It's a critical hit ability. So you want 10% increased. Then you're going to go back up. Look at that. 15% critical spell damage bonus. The Cold Snap is a critical spell. It is a critical spell. So that 15% is immediately put onto it. Now, I will be getting this one. Yeah, I'll probably actually, honestly, I'll probably get this whole section right here. Anything with critical hit, you're going to want critical hit, 1,000%. Now, mind you, my character was in the beginning kind of a glass cannon, so like really really powerful, but kind of, I could take the hits, but I couldn't take them for a long enough period of time. So I went for I went to 5 strength for health, and then immediately went to taken and damage taken. 3% of damage taken recouped his life, 3% of damage taken recouped his life. Um, so I will be getting all of this as well, just to keep my character alive. That's going to be great. Um, let's go through some of these really quick so I can show you where to go once your character is like really uh, put together. Where is it at? Okay, here, right here. So this right here, critical, 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 critical. You want criticals because that Nova Snap, that that ability, once you freeze an enemy, this is what you're going to want. You're going to want it. It's going to increase the damage output on, actually, it's not just the frozen snap, but it will increase damage on all critical uh, abilities that you have. Now, once you get up to here, you are going to want to go to the right and you're going to go up. So look at that. Gain 25% of cold damage as extra fire damage. That's pretty sweet. But that's not really what we're after. We're not after climate change. We're after this. Freeze buildup. You absolutely want it to be where the minute you hit them with a cold ability or skill, they freeze. Because the minute they freeze, you can use cold snap. Gone, just like that. Enemies are gone. Enemies are dead. That's it. Like that's game. And then this. This right here is going to be like, this one in particular and this one here are going to be your best friends once you get up there. So, oh, perfect. Look at that. Yeah, I was on the right path. Um, I'm sorry. I'm having to read these because I want to make sure that I'm guiding you guys the correct way to make. Basically, you're literally you're the Ice King. You're going to be, well, technically you're a sorceress in this game, so you'll be the Ice Queen. You'll literally be Elsa from Frozen. That's her, right? Yeah, that is her. I'm correct. Don't quote me on that. You're going to make the deadliest cold sorceress. Okay, you want to find any anything that has to do with cold. You really want to get it. These are kind of fishy, and I'll explain. Because cold penetration is for those bosses that have cold resistance. Okay, because there are elite creatures, there are elite bosses, and just mini bosses and act bosses. These bosses are bound to have they're bound to have that. They're gonna have resistance. Now, this is kind of up to user's choice. This right here, this one is up to user's choice. All of this, I would like to think, is up to user's choice. As for me, my ass is going up. Why? Because we want um, we want critical hit. See, now this is, I know that we were talking about critical hit earlier. This is really nice. 8% increased cast speed if you've dealt a critical hit really recently. Again, it feels really slow when you're using a cold sorceress, but it does work, and this will work. So let's continue to go through the skill tree and end game. Mind you, again, they wanted the end game guide, but I'm giving kind of a guide of where I'm gonna go. Where I'm going to go with this, I'm going to make a character that is just a monster. Okay, like I will be able to freeze anyone, anything, and I'll probably be able to kill it with one shot. And eventually, it will get to the point where I'm one-shotting bosses. As of right now, for mini bosses, I think I'm killing them in 2 shots. In two, I can't. I'll test it. I'll make sure. Just so that way there we actually have a visual. Because I don't want to. I don't want to tell you guys not the truth. So Fantastic. This is really good. Okay. All right. There we go. So this right here is where you want to go. You want to go up. You want to get right here. And once you get to the middle, you're basically going to want to go straight up. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. You want to go straight up. A jewel socket. I don't know what the hell that is about. Even I don't know that one, so give me a sec. Actually, let me... Oh, that's nice. Just the inspect was absolutely useless. Real convenient. Okay. But you want to get to the cold damage and stuff like that. So this right here will be the basic principle for the cold. Okay, you're going to want to go straight up. Maybe hitchhike on the right a little bit. You're going to want to continue to go. You can actually, in this middle section here, where you have your elemental damage and your freeze buildup, you can actually go both directions. But again, you're going to want to go straight up to this section because that is all freezing stuff. Okay, that is beautiful. It is awesome. It's gnarly. Let's see what else we got here. Do we have any? Okay. Yep. All right. So pretty much that's your basic cold build. I mean, I say basic, but it's honestly like one of the more deadlier ones. So basically, you find anything with elemental, anything with cold, and not like resistance penetration. No. You want cold elemental damage increase. You want freeze buildup, and you want critical hit. So freeze buildup, critical hit, and cold damage increase. That's like your main basics. Why? Because again, when you freeze them, you cold snap, and they're dead. It's gone. It's done. Um, but that's kind of how I'm going. My end game, I will end up having a very like, not just a sorceress that can live really long and can take a decent amount of hits, but will be able to, in a sense, like make a blizzard and just kill you with freezing snow. I will freeze everything around me and make sure that nothing can move. It's very useful. Fantastic and useful. I'll probably record another video. I'll do like a test on some mini bosses because again, I'm level 19, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So here, give me a sec. Let's verify that. Yeah, I'm level 19. I'm not crazy strong, not really. I mean, if I scroll down, it's probably a little more different, but some of my abilities are really strong. Mind you, let's see that? That's what I'm talking about. My cold snap does 1,113 damage per second. These are all my other abilities. That is what I mean. And it's a level 6. Why? Because I have another ability that increases all my levels. All my cold levels go up by 1. All my cold skills. So, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Look at critical hit damage bonus. It's at 130%. Your cold snap is your lifeblood on the cold character. Why? Because it will do the most damage, and it'll absolutely obliterate anything that gets in your way. All right, well, again, if you guys want more information on this, I can definitely do some more demonstrations too, because yes, you can tell somebody this, but until they actually see it, it's kind of up for debate, up for grabs. But this is I would say the strongest cold build of all time on Path of Exiles 2. I know this because I've killed many bosses in 2 hits, so some of them in 1. It does work. It is useful, but again, this is the Logic Vault. If you guys have any more questions or like character builds, I will do other characters too. I won't just do a sorceress. I'll do barbarian. I'll do rogue. I'll do all of them. And when the mercenary and stuff comes out, like I'll do them too. I will make I'll make insane characters, and the characters that you guys see me play, absolutely insane. Um, but anyways, this is the Logic Vault. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and put it in the comments. I will respond. And remember, this is the Logic Vault. We do it the logic way or with no logic at all. I'll see you guys in the next one.